Hello. Tonight we are going to be playing Infernal Machine, Dawn of Submarine Warfare from GMT Games. And we're just going to be going through the solo campaign. For the game, this guy can give him a mechanical order to activate the ballast tank, which is, yeah. So next thing we do is navigation. So we actually move. We are with drift. There's a token somewhere which you can use to say whether we're drifting or not. So currently your navigation move with. So we move to there and you sink down to a wash. Then we draw a navigation card. So the navigation card, we look at the bottom. If below and no snorkel, we get a fatigue. So we're not below, so that doesn't take effect. If we're in strong or weak waters, we move to a column to the right. So with drift, we would put a red cube into the pot, choose our crank intensity, and I am going to keep it on easy. I don't see any reason not to. So this does mean we do get a red cube in the pot. So let's put a red cube into our cup. It's not going to make much difference. So that's the navigation phase. Then we do the repair phase. There's no repairs needs to be done. Then we do the rally phase. But in the repair phase, if there are no malfunction markers, which there isn't, and we're on easy crank intensity, we can add a black cube or remove a fatigue. Since we've got no fatigue, let's add a black cube to the top. And then we go to the rally phase. We've got no rally markers, no fresh air. Then we go to the discovery phase. And I think done. So that's the events for this year. Okay, this is not good. If New Orleans is not yet captured, it is now. Remove the New Orleans location card. If your location is New Orleans, you will see the change sides or end the game. If New Orleans is already captured, roll a die. If the number rolled is even, increase the alert level by 1. If odd, increase the price gauge by 1. So, this stage, because we are in New Orleans, you would have to change over to the Union side or end the game. 8 is nothing, so the alert level remains the same. Okay, actions. Few actions. So I think we go on a training mission. So action 1 will be mission. It'll be useful before we take a break to do the training mission. Okay, so missions. So we will switch player aid. We're doing a training mission because we haven't got a letter mark E. We can't do a mission that takes us into enemy waters. So, and for any sort of help, just depending on, just to get a bit of clarification on the mechanical items if we need them. And then we have our player aids. So this is what we'll be mainly using to step through the game. We have the tactical and mission sequence to play. We won't be using this one initially because I think it'll be a while before we get to a mission. And we have our campaign sequence to play, which is what we are initially going to be stepping through with what actions we can do. So, as I said, we're going to play the CSA, Confederacy side. So, we start off setting up our campaign setup. So we've chosen our side. We then draw 3 investor cards and choose one. Recycle the other 2. To use the word recycle in this game to mean discard, but still in the game. And then we're going to set up our shop. So for the CSA, we're going to randomly choose between New Orleans, Norfolk, or Selma. So 3 investor cards. So we take an investor card. The top section of an investor card is used when we're out on missions, and they're used when we're actually piloting the fish boat. And the bottom half is what we get as a one-time investment. Except when you've got $5 each winter, it means every winter we are going to get $5 from this guy if we choose this guy, and he can be used in the boat. And he gives us a one-off black cube, which are good. You want as many black cubes as possible. And this is expertise. I need as much as this as possible to do contracts and to build parts of the submarine. This guy gives us, if he's in the boat, a -1 detonation cube. So it's going to be a while before we'd actually ever need him. He gives us a lot less money. Well, $5 less, but he gives us $5 each winter, so we probably will not go for him. And this guy's quite good. He starts off with giving us $20, $5 each winter, and we start off with 2 black cubes. So it's going to be between Dr. Wilkinson and George Trenholm. And as I said, we could look in the encyclopedia and find out a little bit of information from each of these characters, but we're not going to. And I think we're going to go with George Trenholm. So these 2 get us started. He comes into our crew. We're going to get 2 black cubes into the fate pool. And our board here at the top, we're going to mark that we've got $20. So looking at the rest of the board, this funds board, this can also be used to track things like strength or expertise. So we've got probably no expertise, which is a bit of a downside to this guy. We have a price gauge. This is unique to the Confederacy. So certain events can increase or decrease this to -1, increase up to +4, and this has an effect on how much we pay for everything, apart from the investment action. The alert level comes into effect when we do missions and gives us a negative based modifier, which is bad. Our training level, which is going to at 0. The number of actions we have left per season, and the actual what season and what year we are in. So unless we end the game or have to change sides, we will be playing up to autumn 1865. So the next thing we need to do is find out where our shop is located. So we choose 3 cards. So we have a choice between, and it's a random choice, Selma, Norfolk, or New Orleans. So we will randomly select one of these while shuffle them up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roll our D10. And it's 4. So we are going to start off located in New Orleans. So these 2 go back into the location pile. So if you look at our shop, what our shop gives us is every season it'll give us amount of money that the shop brings in. It gives us a set of base expertise, so we get 3. So technically we are now on 3 expertise. It gives us extra actions in the case of New Orleans, we have 1 extra action in spring and 1 in winter. And it tells us what we can recruit. So if we take the recruit action, We can take up to 4 journeymen, 1 sailor, though we can only recruit sailors once we have a marked letter of recruitment, or we can take 1 mechanic if we do recruit action. So above our gauges board, we have our mission board. Now this is the training mission board, but we're in New Orleans. So if we look at New Orleans says we use the New Orleans mission board. So going back up here, we will you find out in New Orleans. So the game comes with 4 different maps and a training board. So we just need to find out which one is New Orleans. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, yes. So, I might need to adjust this slightly. So, we don't need these yet. These can come off the board. Training map goes. There's that bit on. Might need to zoom out. Yeah, this on. We'll have to zoom out a little bit for this one. So, this is the initial board we will be using for the missions. It will probably be 6 or 7 seasons to start with before we actually will need to use this board. And I won't go through the board until we need to use it. Which is interesting. I've never really used a New Orleans board before. So now we're set up for the campaign. So the campaign itself has a number of different steps that we step through. So the first step we're going to do is take our income. Okay, so the first step we do is take our income. So our income is $8 from New Orleans. So our income will go up to 28. Done. We have no contracts and it's not winter. So the next step is Fortunes of War. So we're going to roll a dice. And you get an 8. So we consult the CSA Almanac, Spring 1861. This also has a few quotes from, I'm guessing, important people or important events from that time, that year. So we get number 8. And number 8 says, storm activity north of Natchez floods Mississippi's cotton-rich Yazoo Delta, washing away this year's cotton seed planting. Either remove your investor, I am busted, sir, or pay $5. So it was not a great event. It is. I'll have to leave this. So we're going to be referencing that quite a bit. Yeah. Is our investor gives us $5 each winter, we don't lose the black cubes and the money he's already invested. And it doesn't offer anything in terms of the ship. So I think we just lose them. Yeah, it's going to be 3 more seasons before winter. So we'd have to keep them for 2 years before we get our money back when it's $5 each winter. So we'll just discard that guy there. And now we come to the action phase. So the number of actions that we've got is 2 from Spring, plus the extra action from New Orleans. So we have 3 actions. And actions we can do are here. So we can build up to 6 parts of our fish boat. So we look at an example of some of the parts. Part usually has, so this is a section of the fish boat. So we usually have a cost in the corner, the number of expertise that we need to build this part. So we're currently on 3. So we could build this if we wanted to. The number of crew that this part holds, and the weight of this part. So this was a section. We have prows, we have stains, all have different costs and expertise required. This one would need the expertise of 5. Then we actually have the ship parts. So for example, our propeller, it's an improved propeller. So we found the propeller. For example, our hatch. The ship needs a hatch unless it's got an engine. So our hatch would require 4 expertise and 3 money. So we cannot build this one at the moment. So what the build action is, change location is if you want to move from New Orleans. Contract is getting a contract, which will go onto the calendar and which gives us extra money in the income phase. But we can't take a contract because we've got no expertise. We need crew members for that. A letter, these 2 letters that we can get. The letter of Marquee allows us to do more than trainer missions, or allows us to go and fight the enemy. Until we get that, we can only do training missions. And there's a letter of recruitment. And until we get the letter of recruitment, we can't recruit sailors. There's the mission, which at the moment we can only do a trainer mission, but this is where we switch to the other board. There's the recruit action, and there is the salvage action, which we don't need to do because we haven't got a fish boat. Our fish boat will be built here underneath the board. This is our shop area. So we've got 3 actions. I think the first action we need to start doing is recruiting some group. So our first action, we're going to recruit a mechanic. We can only recruit 1 mechanic. So we take the top card of the mechanic. Or we get P4. So this gives us 1 expertise, but also gives us 1 expertise if he's assigned to a contract, 2 strength, which is quite good, and he can do a repair if he's in the boat. He is going to cost us $6 to hire, but we will hire him for $6. So down to we're up to 22. Our second action, we do another recruit action. Let's take some journeymen. So this is 4 journeymen we can take. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have Michael Caine. I already told you to blow the bloody hatch off. Only $1. He only offers 2 strengths. 2 strengths is quite good in a boat. I don't think there's any that offer more than 2 strengths. They only cost $1. So a good general agreement. Henry Beard gives us an expertise, is what we're after. He allows us to, he can operate mechanical structures within the boat. And he's got $3 and 2 strength, so he's pretty good as well. John Doe is another generic crewman. That's got 2 strength, which might be worth keeping. Doesn't offer much else. And Charles Sprague. So he offers an expertise, and it only costs $2. And when we put him to a boat, he'll be assigned to a boat. It does add a red cube every time we assign him to a mission. He's got 2 strength. So we're going to hire all these. We have an option. We can hire 1, as many as we want. But it's going to cost us 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 money to hire these 4 guys. I'll keep These here, these are not going to do much. These two until we get a crew. So I there, you can't really do anything else. Then our last action. Now that we've got some expertise, I will do a contract action. So contract action. Again, we return to our almanac. We return to the year, and at the bottom, the available contracts. So we can have a $2 contract for 3 seasons, and this will require 2 expertise. $4 contract for 2 seasons. This will require 3 expertise. Or a $5 contract for 2 seasons, which will give us require 4 expertise. So we currently have 4 expertise within our crew because this guy is double. So let's do the $5 contract for 2 seasons. So when we take the $5 contract, we take the $5 symbol, we put it 2 seasons ahead. We then got to assign 4 expertise to that contract. So this guy's 2, 3, 4. They will go up there. Whilst they're up here, they can't contribute to the expertise for building a boat. So we're effectively down to 3 expertise. That was our last action. So finally, after all our actions are done, we do the time procedure. So we have no one in sick bay. So we do the event. And for the event, we go back to the almanac. And in the bottom corner of the year, so down here, we have an event. And the event for this year, in April, in anticipation of a relief ship, Confederate forces assemble around the harbor of Charleston and fire on Fort Sumter. The federal garrison soon capitulates before the ship arrives. If your location is Charleston, add a black cube to the fate pool. If located elsewhere, an exuberant patriot feels generous, gain $5. Well, we are in New Orleans, so we will gain $5. So up to 27. There you go. End of that season. We got season 2. Income. So now we get $9 from the shop. We also get $5 from the contract. So altogether, we're going to get $14. We're on 27. So we're going to go to 41. A lot of money. We haven't really got any expertise. So stick them there. So actions, we have, we don't do actions yet, but we will only have 2 actions. Let's set that. So that's income done. So now we do Fortunes of War. It's quite easy to forget to do this Fortunes of War. Well, let's roll our dice. And we've got a 10. So we now go to the summer of 1861 and a 10. I never trusted them. A local banker is found to be a northerner. He is tarred and feathered and soon is forced out of town, lucky to be alive. Each of your investors demands forgiveness of their debt at a suspect bank. Increase funds by $5 per investor. If you lack an investor, draw one now. The well-heeled planter approaches you in the churchyard. Give your pardon my forwardness, it seems. I have come into some funds and I am in the market for a patriotic project. Oh, we haven't got an investor, so we can draw an investor. And wow, okay, we draw AJ Marshall, Senator, $35. 1 expertise, 2d10 mission type. So we're way away from that. He must be a pretty good mark. He's probably one of the best in the game. So the 2d10 for mission type, when we do a mission, that's not a training mission. It gives us more options on what mission we can do. So $35. Wow. Okay. It's a bonus, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. 76. Wow. Okay. That's massive. So actions. We've got 2 actions. We can't really build anything. I want to get up to 7 or 8 for teas before we start building our boat. So let's recruit again. So, mechanic. I think we're probably going to use both our actions to recruit here. He's pretty good. So again, good draws here. He's going to give us an expertise, but if he puts us into the boat, the submarine, he's going to give us a black cube each mission. So he's going to cost $5. And for the next action, we don't really need much else. So let's just recruit some journeymen. We can recruit us 4. Yeah, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have John Keeley. He's pretty good. He does repairs and he does mechanical. We haven't actually got a steer yet. So I'll use a steering link. He's not bad either. We get a black cube. I've only got 1 strength, but I think we might keep him as well. That's 6. Iron means he doesn't panic straight away. If we have to assign a panic marker to him, it goes to terror. So it's quite useful to have on board. And Charles Asker. So no steering, people, which is unusual. So again, let's hide them. 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. And we get 1 black cube, 2 black cubes into the pool. If I keep them out, the rest don't really offer anything until we go to the missions. We do get 2 black cubes into our fate pools. Season done. No one in sick bay. We go to the event. The event for summer 1861. A great battle in Virginia occupies rail and river traffic for days and weeks. If located in Norfolk, Richmond, or Petersburg, which we're not, deduct 1 action next season. If located elsewhere, roll a die. If 1, increase price gauge by 1. If 2 to 10, a build action next season costs 2 actions instead of 1. We're not going to build next season anyway, I don't think. We could do, but we roll a dice. We don't want a 1. We do know that much. There we go. We got a 1. Everything's going to get more expensive. No, price gauge goes up to +1. So every time we spend money, if that's not an investment action, it's going to cost us an extra $1 per item. Oh, done. Okay, we now go into autumn 1861. So we take our income, which is 8.13, because we get the $5 still. 13 is 1, 2, 3, and 10. And because this is the green cubes now on the contract, this is complete. These all come back. So we can, if we wanted to, get another contract. We will have 2 actions. And we're on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're on 9, so we could build a pretty good ship. But it will cost 2 actions. We are on, well, we're on 84 money, so I don't see the reason to go for a contract again. Anyway, Fortunes of War. Let's roll this dice. And we've got a 9. So autumn 1861. A 9. For the good of the state and country, sir. Let's shake on it. If you have a contract, you may extend its duration 1 season. If no contract, this season, 2 contracts may be secured for 1 contract action. pretty good. The problem with that, I think we still need more guys because we haven't got a guy who could run the steering link. So I think we will. It is probably worthwhile doing that. Um, 6. I mean, we use 6. We've easily got 6, so we can take a $3 and a $4 contract for 3 seasons and 2 seasons. It costs us 6 expertise. So actions. So let's do that for our first action. Let's take 2 contracts. We will take the $3 and $4 contract. So the $3 contract is for 3 seasons, and the $4 contract is for 2 seasons. We need to assign 3 for the $3 contract. So this guy's 2, because he's assigned to a contract, and 1. So $3, 3 there, and then 3 of these. Go down to 4 expertise for the $4 contract. So that was action 1. Action 2, I'm going to hire a mechanic. We need to get a steering link, someone who can steer the boat. There we go. Wolf, he's pretty good as well. Timothy Crim. He does everything there in the boat. He adds a black key permission. He's 3 expertise. It does cost $8, but I think that's worth it. So we will hire him for $8. So we are currently on 84. So we will go down to 76. Well, the event for this year. The US Navy's seizure of Confederate diplomats Mason and Slidell from the British merchantman Trent has rumours coming thick and fast. Newspapers hint that British recognition of the Confederacy is imminent. Roll a die and apply the result. Roll this die. And we've got a 2. Noisy diplomatic posturing and spirited rallies portside, but nothing substantial results. This result has no effect. Nothing gone on there then. So now we move to winter 1862. Income. So we get $7 plus $7. So we're going to get $14. So we're on 76. We're going straight up to 90. We are pretty rich here. And we're going to get 2 actions in winter. So we're on 7 in terms of building a boat. So I think we can start building the boat. So building a boat. Let's come off a little bit. Let's leave our crew. This is our crew. Let's move over here. So in terms of expertise, we've got 3 from the shop, 6, 7. So for a valid boat, we can't create a seaworthy boat this turn. We need a prow and a stern, at least 1 section, a hatch, a steering link, and at least a ballast tank and a propeller, but we really want a level tank as well. So low rudder stern, 5 expertise, we could get that one. So we look at our sterns. Wow. I think I want to get 2 sections. We can't get this prow because the prow requires 10 expertise. So we can get that as a section. Needle prow, we can not get. We can get a tapered prow, but it allows put 3 guys in there, but it's 2 weight. It's no prow is 1 weight and 1 guy. See what the prow we've got. Uh, what I didn't notice. Let's get to this section. Let's get a second section. Building our boat. Some of these sections are 3 weight. Only 2 guys, and I don't get why you want the extra weight. Maybe just something I haven't come across yet. We've still got to come up with the prow. And I quite like the chisel prow, so let's go for the chisel prow. And then for the stern. So everything has got to be on a 7. So we don't need that one. It's no prow, nothing. We've got our prow. That's a section. We've got a long stern, 3 guys, but 2 extra weight. Weight's important when they're tabling our power grade. We want at least to get a power grade C. Better if we can get a power grade B. Blunt stern, it's just 2 weight with nothing, so I don't think we're going to go with that one. Chisel stern. No, we can't get the chisel stern because it requires 8 expertise. You know what? We'll keep that. We've not had to build a stern this turn because we can build our hatch as well, which is $3. And we can build. We can build our ballast tank, which is $5. Um, and we can build we can build our steering link as well. So altogether, we are about nothing is above 7 expertise, and we are about to pay 8, 12, 17, 20, 30, 34 money. 34 money. So going on 90, oh, 30 is 60, and 4 is 56. So we're still really well off. Ballast tank. We've got to go into the prow. So this similarly means the prow can now hold 1 less crew member. Steering link and our hatch. Okay, so that was our build action. Do we put the steering link with the hatch? This is where we look at our steering encyclopedia. We want to just check something. So I'm just going to read on the steering link. No, so it's I'm sure there was something to be, so I want it to be opposite an hatch. So look, quick read on hatch. Okay, it's okay. So I think for our second action, we could do some extra strength. I'm going to hire another mechanic. Okay, +1 concussion check if steering, which I think is pretty good. 2 expertise, black cube straight off and $6, and you can do everything, but he is only 1 strength, but we will hire him for 6. 6 is nicely down to 50, and we get a black cube, so we are doing good with these black cubes. Done. Event. So, winter 1862. Oh, did we do the fortunes? No, I think I've forgotten the Fortune of War. I always forget the Fortune of War. So let's pretend we haven't done all that. Nothing's going to make any difference. Let's do the Fortune of War. So we rolled hot dice, Fortunes of War, and we rolled a 10. So, Fortune of War. The telegraph office is alive with spirited conversation after a boisterous voice rises above the din to orate the morning's headline. Unions monitor battles Confederate Virginia at Hampton Roads. Norfolk is captured. Remove Norfolk's location card if your location is Norfolk. You must either change sides immediately or change location to Petersburg is the only action permitted this season. If not in Norfolk, increase the price gauge by 1. Okay, and this is what else we've got as well. So that is going to have an effect. So Norfolk goes out the game. We'll just leave that over there. Price gauge goes up a 1, so we're on to +2. So everything we just bought there, we have to pay 2 more for. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we need to pay an extra 12. We did have it, so it's not a big issue. So we paid an extra 12, so we go down to 38. Always forgetting the Fortunes of War. This is bad. An extra +2. Actually, and then let me just. Oh, it's okay. We're not in Norfolk, so we can still do that. Okay, so event. The Confederate Congress establishes the Borough of Subsistence. You may secure any one contract offered in previous seasons. Also, you may cancel one or more contracts you already have without penalty. So if you cancel the contract voluntarily, that contract goes out the game. So if we cancel this $4 contract, we could never do $4 contracts again. However, we are about to get our $4 one back. So we're about to get 1, 2, 3 expertise back. We want our chisel staying, which needs 8. So I think we can afford. If there's a nice 2, 1 contract in previous seasons, and there is. So in autumn 61, 2 seasons, 2 for our $2 contract. Let's see that. So, I think we can only have 1 contract per season. So we need a 2 with 3 seasons. There we go. Spring 1861. Yo there. 3 seasons, 2 variant expertise. So let's do that one. So our $2 contract is going to go there. And this guy is going to go to the $2 contract. So next season. income. We're going to get 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 income. 17 income. Well, cool. 38. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The $4 one is done, complete. So these guys are going to come back. Going to give us an extra 1, 2, 3 expertise. So we'll get it on 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we will get 3 actions. But let's remember to do Fortunes of War. And we've rolled a 10. Bring 1862. Yeah, call it the Great Flood of 1862. Flooding in San Francisco causes price of gold to rise, affecting cotton speculation. If you have an investor, roll a die. If the number rolled is even, gain $5. If odd, pay $5, adjusting for price gauge, so it'd be $7. If no investor in play, you may gain one now. We have got an investor. We've got this Senator A.J. Marshall. Let's roll. We got even. And we've got odd. So we've got to pay $7. 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actions. So 3 actions. Action 1, I think we finish off building our boat. So we are going to take the chisel stone. Requires 8 expertise, which we now have. And that's going to cost us $9. It's actually going to cost us $11. I hope we can finish our boat. So $11. Our money's not looking so good now. But looks like it's already bathing. We also want a level tank. A level tank allows us to go submerge a bit more. And a level tank is going to cost us $6. It's got to go in there. That's going to cost us another $6. Thanks to this price gauge, which is a killer. By the way, I can't remember if when hiring our last mechanic, we took into account the price gauge. I'm going to say we probably didn't, but I can't remember. We might have done, but I'm going to knock us down by $2, just in case you didn't. And the last thing we need is propeller. And propeller is going to cost us $8. But we now have a seaworthy ship. $8 on 19 takes us down to 11. So we do have a seaworthy ship now. So we now can start assigning crew. So we assign so that was our first action. So in the stern, let's stick our 2 strength guys. So the weight of our ship is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we can get to 14, that's pretty good. I don't think we'll get to 14. 6, 7. So we only have 7 guys, and so every guy would have to be a 2, and it's not going to happen. But we just need to get above 7. So those 2, our Iron Man, we can have 1 guy in there. I think he can go in there. We need our steering guy, the only guy that can steer. Let's put him in there. We don't want to lose this guy. He's adjacent to the steering link, so that's fine. I think we want the guys. that up here. So especially the twos. So we might wait till finish our $3 contract finishes next turn. Okay, so let's do a higher action. And let's hire some journeymen. So again, we can do 4. So there's only 3 available. 3 journeymen available. Frank Doyle is not very good. Robert Brookbanks, and neither of them are particularly. He's John Marshall. I think we hired John Marshall for $5. They're just not worth it. So they will get. Oh, they get shuffled back in when we come to do. It's going to cost us $5. Wow, down to $6. We had 90 before. And then our last action. Do we go for a mechanic and sign a mechanic? We might be able to afford them. If it's going to cost more than $5, we won't be able to afford them. Contracts available this season is, where are we in? No, spring 62. Interesting. Spring 82, we've got a $4. Oh no, so it's only a $2 and a $3 contract available this season. So they're already on the board. So we can't take the contract action. Do we take the investment action? We'll do the investment action to show how it works. So, investment action. What's this guy? Who's this guy here? Who have we just hired? We just hired this John Marshall, haven't we? Why have I got William Robinson down here? I'm going to say we did hire him before. So, investment action. What we're going to do is we're going to choose how much we want to invest. We're going to roll a die, and we are going to see where the intersection is. We're effectively going to invest 5 funds anyway because we've only got that much. And the price gauge doesn't take effect with this. It's the only part of the spending money where the price gauge doesn't exist. So select the column. We're going to select the $5. We are going to invest $5. Take us down to $1. Then roll a die. So we've got high number as possible. A 3 is not good. So a 3 for $5. We get $4 back. So we lost $1. But nothing bad happens. And that is our last action. I'm going to say yes. It doesn't really matter if it was or not. They're not doing really much to do. So let's do the event. So event for spring 1862. If Norfolk is already captured, which it is, this event has no effect. Okay. That puts an end to that. So let's move on to summer 1862. So get our income, badly needs, we're getting 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 income, 10, 19. The $3 contract is complete. The $3 guys come back. And we might assign these to our boat. So let's assign in there, and there. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's enough, I think. Income done. Fortunes of war. We roll a 6. Spring 1862. Summer 1862. Army abandons Norfolk. If Norfolk is not yet captured, it is. We've removed the Norfolk location card from play. If your location is new, you must either change sides now, or your action permitted is change location. If not in Norfolk, but it is already captured, roll a die. If the number rolled is even, make an alert check. If odd, increase the price gauge by 1. Wow. Wow. Never had the price gauge go up like this. And it's even. So we make an alert check. So we go for the alert check. We go for the alert check procedure. Where's the alert check procedure? Here we go, an alert check. When required to perform an alert check, roll a die. Count how many personal cards are in play, including these two. Oh, this one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we need a really high number here. 8. So modifiers -1, 12 or more parts, which there isn't. -1 if you suffered a loss. I haven't. A -2. So 8 is nothing. 8 is nothing. So the alert level remains the same. Okay. Actions. 2 actions. So I think we go on a training mission. Action 1 will be mission. It'll be useful before we take a break to do the training mission. Okay, so missions. So we will switch player. We're doing a training mission because we haven't got a letter mark E. We can't do a mission that takes us into enemy waters. So, mission set. So we move to our mission board. And this guy is from the contract. Our mission board. So we now need to set up via using this board here. So mission type is a training mission. And we're aiming to get our training level up to level 1. And to do that, we need to move 2 spaces, I think. Go down to below. And then return and give return to surface. So first thing we need to do is assign the guys to our boat. So assigning our guys to the boat, we've done that. We get 1 black cube from Timothy Crew. And that's it. So we are starting the mission 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black cubes in our cup. Then we determine our power grade. Our power grade is higher than our weight, but less than double our weight. So our power grade will be C. Not particularly great, but it'll have to do. Place our fishboat marker into our launch space. I'm going to launch from Old Forts. Got a fishboat Fish bookmarker goes onto there. Place all our cubes in the cup. Roll for nautical conditions. So you then roll for the, so first you roll for visibility. So we are in summer, so we're using this. So we rolled a 6. So 6. This one, so our visibility is dim. It's not going to make much difference because it's a training mission. Next, we roll for drift intensity. This will make a difference, and we really want between 7 and a 10 here. 1 or 2 will be disaster. Oh, there we go. We rolled a 9. Guessing we rolled a 9. This is pretty good. That means we are on calm. That should make things an awful lot easier. Then atmospherics. This won't make much of a difference. And we roll a 4 and atmospherics, which is drizzle. So our atmospherics token is drizzle. I'll just stick this there. This would give us a +1 in detection checks, target checks, but we won't be doing any of them. So in this board, there's no slack water card. There's no drift direction. So in this board on New Orleans, the arrows is the drift direction. So we start off in the cube for surface, versus the elevation. I wonder if we can get that. And you need a cube for crank intensity, which we don't need to do yet. So I believe that is all set up. There's no toe check. If we were starting here, we'd have to do a toe check, but we couldn't really start there unless we wanted to go down this way, because we can't go into this space. Because if this symbol is on the board, it means it's an enemy space, and we're not allowed to do that yet. So, all set up. We have our discovery cards, so we will give them a shuffle. Let's put them there. And just so they're in my reach, I'm just going to put discovery cards there. Oh yeah, well, navigation cards. The navigation card. There is no slack water in this mission. That comes off. I actually should have just moved because. Okay. So we're going to move it a bit back and forward a bit here. I'm not going to move my boat. So there's our crew. Let's just move these up. So first thing we do in our mission sequence of play, which is yeah. So our aim for this mission as a trainer mission is to move out to Saltworks, get to below surface, and then come back and surface to the surface elevation. So the first thing we do is we assign orders to our crew. So I think it probably might have been better doing it this way. So let's go back to the mission board. Stick that in there. And since our ship has been our fish boat, it's pretty much done. I'm just going to move our mission board, our campaign board down, and I'm going to move our boat up to here. Unfortunately, it's now gone into the light section. So we are going to get some glare, unfortunately. Well, here you go, is what it is. I've got a professional setup. Here we'll go up there. Our crew. There you go, it. Okay. The first thing we do is assign orders to our crew. So there's two orders you tend to give. Is our steering order. So there's this guy, because he's got the steering link, he is adjacent. And because we want to go down, we want to submerge, this guy can give him a mechanical order to activate the ballast tank, which is, yeah. So next thing we do is navigation. So we actually move. We are with drift. There's a token somewhere which you can use to say whether we're drifting or not. So currently your navigation move with. So we move to there and you sink down to a wash. Then we draw a navigation card. So the navigation card, we look at the bottom, it below and no snorkel. We get a fatigue, so we're not below, so that doesn't take effect. If we're in strong or weak waters, we move to a column to the right. So with drift, we would put a red cube into the pot, choose our crank intensity, and I am going to keep it on easy. I don't see any reason not to. So this does mean we do get a red cube in the pot. So let's put a red cube into our cup. It's not going to make much difference. So that's the navigation phase. Then we do the repair phase. There's no repairs needs to be done. Then we do the rally phase. But in the repair phase, if there are no malfunction markers, which there isn't, and we're on easy crank intensity, we can add a black cube or remove a fatigue. Since we've got no fatigue, let's add a black cube to the top. And then we go to the rally phase. We've got no rally markers, no fresh air. Then we go to the discovery phase. So we draw a discovery card. So we roll again for visibility and atmospherics, which is fine because they're not going to really make much difference. I think I can put that there. So visibility is now 4, which is the same. We're still on dim. And atmospherics is now a 1. So we now have rain. Again, it's not going to make much difference in this mission. But here we go. Rain. Okay. This grid is totally irrelevant. So we would be looking at a wash and dim. The 7 is if there was any enemy, we would do a detection check. If we were doing a target check, the number next to it is for our targets. Because we're not doing any of that, this isn't going to make any difference. So that's done. And we go to the next round. So again, we're going off steering to this guy. He's going to control the elevation. No reason to change them. So we're going to move to here. We're still moving with. So there's the arrow. And we're going to go down to below. Navigation card. If below and no snorkel, we get a fatigue. So, fatigue marker. And we're just going to stick this on this guy here. So, just the point, if any of these guys have multiple fatigue, if both of these guys have fatigue markers on them, or they've got an order, or if they're both busy, this section becomes incapacitated, and it means we'd have to go move a column to the left. So we're still on C, we're still with the drift direction. So we've got a panic marker. So I'm going to keep crank intensity on easy, because this marker can go on our iron guy and it just goes on as a terror, which doesn't have really no effect. If you get another one, then it changes to a panic. So in our repair phase, nothing to repair. So we can add a black cube or remove the fatigue marker. I'm going to remove the fatigue marker. Done. For navigation card done. Discovery. Again, there's only a mechanism in a space with a panicked crewman. If not, no malfunction. So we get unlucky. There is no panicked crewman, and the topic doesn't count. So we've reached our target. We now want to head back. So again, I'm going to keep these the same. There's no reason to change them. We're going to be back. We're now against the drift, and we're moving back up. Navigation. If we were in rough waters, we'd go 2 spaces, 2 columns to the right. We're not. So we're not with. So we've got a drift. The drift is actually quite bad, so we don't want to do drift. But we're going to put our crank intensity up to 4. This lets us go 2 columns to the left to no effect, but we do have to put 2 fatigue markers on there. It could be quite bad, actually. So we're only going to do it 1 and put a red cube in the pot. But we have to put 1 fatigue marker on there, so let's put it back on John Doe. Our discovery card. Mechanism with the most malfunction markers. If it's high, no malfunction. So no malfunction. We're getting lucky with these discovery cards. And our last step of the mission. Go around, keep these the same, no reason to change them, the orders. We're going to move back to where we need to be, up the surface, do the navigation. So the mission will end after the discovery phase. If it wash or below and no snow panic, we're not, and we're not in rough, strong waters. We are against the drift, so we're on drift. And I'm just going to keep it where we are and put a red cube. I'm not even going to do that. Does it make no difference? I'll go to strain, and we're in the blank column. We've got 2 fatigue. Oops. There. 2 fatigue markers. Because we're not going to move again, it doesn't really matter where these go. Technically, this space would be incapacitated. Discovery card. Engine malfunction. If no engine, so we got really lucky with these cards. No malfunction. Mission ends. Now, if our training is a success, if we look at the rule book for training, 40, to go up to a training level, so to go to the next training level, we must have moved to an adjacent position on the mission board, and which we did, or to a position further away, which we did do. It must also have submerged to below shallow elevation at least once during the mission, which we did do. And at mission's end, there must be more black cubes in it than red cubes. So our fate pool looks like a lot more black cubes than red cubes. So our mistrain level can go to 1. Next, after the mission ends, we do have to do recovery. Which is not really going to make much of a difference because we haven't got any malfunctions. So recovery phase. So increase the training level by 1, which we've done. Recycle all cubes from the fate pool except those gained from the new event. Okay, so this is a bad thing. We're actually going to lose all these cubes, which is not great. We had loads of black cubes there. Shame. Shame. We've got no malfunction markers, so we don't have to perform repair checks. If any person in your fish boat are both fatigued and panicked, placed in a sick bay, there isn't. Recycle all marks from crewmen, even those in sick bay from the fish boat. There we go. So that's our mission done. These will come up. And that was our first action. These guys are effectively back. I'm not going to move the boat back down here because I don't think the boat's going to change in a while. It does mean our contract are going to have to go underneath. Because our second action, I think, is going to be a contract action. And we look at our almanac for summer of 1862. Saying that I'm not sure we need that much money. Oh, we always need money, I'm guessing. Oh, they're all quite big. Oh, it might actually do. How much money we got? We've got 90 money. I think we can go for the letter of mark. Oh no, that's a lot of money. So let's let's just do a contract action. Contract action. And for 1 season, you can get $4. And it costs us 3 expertise. So let's do that one. Oh, we can't do 1 season because our $2 contract is on there. So $5, 2 seasons, and cost us 4 expertise. So let's do that. 1, 2, 4 expertise. So here's our guy who gives us the double. Don't know what I've got all these for. He must be up here. So these go up here. These can all come back down here. There he is. Hmm. So we need to do 4 expertise. There's 2. 2, 3, 4. So we can go up there for now. And I think done. So let's do the events for this year. Okay, this is not good. If New Orleans is not yet captured, it is now. Remove the New Orleans location card. If your location is New Orleans, you will see the change sides or end the game. If New Orleans is already captured, roll a die. If the number rolled is even, increase the LA level by 1. If odd, increase the price gauge by 1. So, this stage, because we are in New Orleans, you would have to change over to the Union side or end the game. For this first stream, we'll end the game. We're not joining the Union side. So that's our first playthrough. It's a short one of Infernal Machine. We will be playing this again. Where if this comes up again, it's just that it's a bit late. We will switch sides if this opportunity comes up again. There you have it. If you'd like to see more war games that which we will end up playing, then subscribe. Bye.